Good morning, everyone. We're back. Feels like it's been a year, but it's only been a week. It's crazy. Hey, big news. Jason Momoa is making another splash in the DCU. Off to a great start. We also got Batman delays, the box office, and of course all the new things being released this week, because this is the Movie Mornings podcast. We hope you're having a great morning already. We hope the rest of your morning goes good as well. I'm going to take a drink from my cup. It's a great cup. Hey, we got a new sound mixer. Don't worry. I played with it a lot last night, so I'm not gonna do it. But I do have one I want to play. That's right, we got crickets now. So whenever I do a bad joke, I'll just do that. So you'll be hearing that literally the whole time. Oh, also there's this. It's gonna be great, everybody. It's gonna be great. Or is it? You'll find out. Let me know in the comments if it's great or terrible. Moving on. Story number one, everybody. Jason Momoa back to the DCU. Will be playing Lobo in the new Supergirl movie. So this comes to us from Hollywood reporter Aaron Couch reporting on this. Aquaman star Jason Momoa is staying in the DC fold. The actor will appear in Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow as Lobo, the alien bounty hunter who first appeared in the comics in 1983, The Hollywood Reporter has confirmed. Momoa was the face of Aquaman franchise for the previous DC regime, appearing as Aquaman in a cameo in Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. What a cameo that was. He just swims right up to the screen and then he just walks away. It's so good. I loved it. All the folders in Batman v Superman with just everybody. And thankfully Lex Luthor already created logos for each one of the heroes. I feel like that really helped them identify themselves in future movies. Never mind. I'm moving on. Before starring in Justice League 2017 and then toppling 2018's Aquaman, the feature was a massive hit, earning $1 billion and marking the high point for the DCEU films, which ended with last year's Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. The final film was a letdown, earning just $439 million and failing with critics. RIP DCEU. And I love the fact that the final thing we ever see in the DCEU is Jason Momoa's brother. And obviously it's not his actual brother, but Patrick Wilson eating a cockroach. I think that sums it up. Sums up the DCU pretty good. Momoa has long wanted to play the character and has talked about it for years, including during the press rounds for The Lost Kingdom. On Monday, the actor shared a quote from that press tour in which he stated he hoped DC would call him about the role. He captioned the quote on Instagram with, "They called." Wrong button. There we go. Congratulations, Jason Momoa. All your dreams are coming true, my friend. No, honestly, I think he'll make a good Lobo. There's probably a little bit more on here. But Lobo is he's a fun character. There's I remember some controversy, I guess, if you want to say that. Back when the New 52 started, they totally reworked Lobo to be like a sexy bounty hunter instead of the gruff, big 80s metal Lobo, and a lot of people did not care for that, and I think they ended up reverting back, and it was one of those things where it's I want to say the original Lobo killed the new Lobo, or I may have that reversed. The new Lobo may have killed the old Lobo, and he was like, "That's my name." I forget what it was. It was. I feel like that's happened in something else, but basically somebody was using his name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Lobo's ridiculous. I've not read Woman of Tomorrow yet. I still have the trade paperback literally sitting 4 feet away from me, and I want to check it out. I'm not certain if Lobo even appears in that story, But I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Lobo is not like the main antagonist. I feel like I could be wrong, but I feel like that would be something we would have known already. I just feel like it would have come up in conversation. So I think having Lobo as like a secondary character, one for interaction, one that can just kind of dip in, make a splash, and then dip out. Like, I think that's the best way to use Lobo. I'm not certain a Lobo standalone movie would be the best way to go. That being said, I mean, I'm down, if it's good, if they do something good, I think it'll be fun. And Lobo looks so different from Aquaman, obviously, but even like the Aquaman that we know from the DCU, I don't think there'll be any issues with, him looking similar, being confusing. I mean, because he's like all white, like pale white, and like red eyes and huge 80s metal hair, black 80s metal hair, and just, it's so different from Aquaman. I think it'll be fun. It's exciting though. I mean, I like that James Gunn is like, no, we want the best person. We're not gonna be stuck by not getting to cast somebody because they were something else. Like, whoever the best person is, that's who's gonna be cast. I think that's great. I mean, that's what we want. It worked for Chris Evans pretty good. He was the Human Torch, and Kevin Feige's like, nah, he can still be Captain America. I digress. There have been various attempts to bring Lobo to the big screen over the years. Filmmakers such as Guy Ritchie and Brad Peyton both took stabs, with Dwayne Johnson circling the role. Wow. The hierarchy of Lobo is going to change forever. In 2018, Warner Brothers and Michael Bay also flirted with the idea, but the concept never got off the ground on the small screen. Emmett J. Scallon played Lobo on the sci-fi series Krypton. I recently bought the entire series of Krypton. I need to go in. I forgot that Lobo appears in that. Writer Roger Sloffer and artist Keith Griffin created Lobo for the comic Omega Men #3. The blue skin. Okay, so I guess it's like a really light blue. My bad. I thought it was white, but I guess it's a light blue. Cigar chomping alien has super strength and healing powers and has fought both heroes and villains. Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow arrives in theaters June 26, 2026 and stars Millie Alcock as the hero. It will be the second feature in the new DC universe overseen by DC studio bosses James Gunn and Peter Safran, with Gunn's Superman movie arriving in July. Momoa's casting is noteworthy. When Gunn and Safran took over the DC brand, they left the door open for fan-favorite actors from previous regime to stay in the fold, possibly as different characters. Momoa is the first to continue on, albeit in a new role. So, there you go. Do we think Supergirl is going to pop up in Man of Steel? I'm sorry. Superman. Just Superman. It's just called Superman. Let me know. Let me know in the comments. And do we think Lobo? I mean, he's being cast. I know they've wrapped filming, but I mean, like, do we think any of this plays into the Superman movie? Or are we strictly Supergirl? I think, personally, I think we could see Supergirl, given the fact that she was cast so long ago. There's a chance she could have made like a surprise little cameo or something. I don't know if I'd go as far as like a post-credits thing. I don't know if that's going to be James Gunn's style. Lobo, probably not, if I had to take a stab at it. But hey, I could be wrong. Stranger Things, am I right? Story number 2. This comes from Variety via Rebecca Rubin. Everybody. We love Rebecca Rubin. Always doing great work. So this is how Nosferatu drove a stake through box office expectations with huge 40 million Christmas debuts. So this is a box office report, just in case that wasn't clear. Talk about having some oh my God, come on. Nosferatu drove a stake through box office expectations, delivering a hauntingly good... Rebecca, I'm begging you. Come on, these puns, man. I mean, I know you have to. But man alive, these are just... Oh my God. I mean, they're making me laugh. So I guess they're doing their job. Lord. delivering a hauntingly good $21.6 million over the traditional weekend and $40.8 million since debuting on Christmas Day. Those receipts sent box office analysts everywhere reaching for the vampire puns, apologies, in an effort to explain the bloody, fantastic results for Nosferatu. After all, Nosferatu scored one of the year's top openings for a specialty studio, joining A24's dystopian cross-country adventure Civil War, Neon's thriller Longlegs, and Cineverse's Terrifier 3. Ticket sales also rank as the biggest Christmas Day launch and weekend haul for a genre film, overtaking the benchmark set in 1998 by Robert Rodriguez's high school sci-fi story, The Faculty. All in all, and just another brick in the wall. I'm gonna get faster at it, don't worry. Which made $4.4 million on opening day and $11.6 million over the traditional weekend. That there's a 26-year gap between the previous record holder is partially because horror isn't synonymous with the holiday season. Quote, when we dated the film for Christmas, people weren't like, wow, that's an easy fit. Exhibitors were taken aback that we were going to do this gothic story on Christmas Day. The head of distribution at Focus Features, which backed the film. We were able to turn it into an event and it worked tremendously. The movie itself delivers, and that's always the most important thing. Heading into the extended Yuletide frame, Nosferatu was projected to open $25 million. Can we get to the rest of it here? There's also Robert Eggers, the film's writer, co-producer. Nosferatu isn't your typical horror movie. It's elevated from an auteur director. Another specialty release, Searchlight's Bob Dylan biopic, A Complete Unknown. Hey, Complete Unknown, man. It's a Bob Dylan. That was it. Sorry. I thought that was going to be crickets. Oh, man. Also scored its Christmas debut with $11.6 million over the weekend and a better than expected $23.2 million over its first 5 days. These successes with seemingly unconventional release dates are signaling there's room for alternative fare amid the crush of family films like Mufasa, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, and Wicked, though Wicked is particularly popular. Nailed it. There's always a natural inclination to release family films at Christmas because that works. You need that. Trying to do something different with Nosferatu, a hard R-rated movie, was reacting to the post-COVID trend that younger males have been the biggest demo that's back to theaters. Let's see here. It's a remake. Given the reviews, the unconventional Christmas Day release made Nosferatu an event picture in the eyes of moviegoers. The incredible success reflects the desire by fans of the horror genre to have something offbeat and edgy that while not original in its conceit, is truly original in its execution. Of course, critical raves and awards buzz don't hurt either. So, Nosferatu did very well at the box office. A Complete Unknown did very well. I believe, I'll be honest, I thought this was the entire box office report, not just something on Nosferatu, so my apologies. But I believe Lion King took the final box office for the weekend. I'm actually going to scroll up here, see if we can find out exactly what our top box office was. Let's see here. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 races. Nope, that's in Ireland. So that's not what we're looking for. Box office. Mufasa beats Sonic for number one over Christmas stretch as Nosferatu and A Complete Unknown start strong. So there you go. Mufasa actually beat Sonic. But they were neck and neck. They were racing to figure out who would be number one at the box office. And it looks like this time, Sonic came in second place. No longer the fastest thing. Never mind. I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah. I wanted to watch Nosferatu. We didn't get a chance to make it to the theaters over Christmas break, but I still want to see it. I've heard it's like from general audiences, some people found it kind of boring, and I could see that. I could totally see that. There's some of these movies like I love gothic horror. That's not true. I don't really love that stuff. Tim Burton does a lot of gothic horror, and I'm not a big Tim Burton fan. I like horror stuff. I love vampires, but sometimes this stuff set in like the Victorian era can be like really boring. It's just slow, and like I get it, and it's great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing anybody. It's just my own personal cup of tea. I prefer something a bit more oomph most of the time. Unless it's just like totally engrossing, right? And like I'm just like, what the heck is going on? What's that movie? I watched the TV Glow. I saw the TV Glow. That's another one that like probably shouldn't have been on my favorites because it's not slow, but like but because it was so mind messing. I'm trying to use certain words here instead of using the words I would normally use. Because we don't want to get that E rating on this. E stands for explicit, just to be very clear. So, moving on. Real quick, we actually did our top 10 list last night on the stream. So if you want to know what made the hopefully awesome top 10 ranking, check out our stream from last night. It's, I think we landed on some pretty good stuff. Some of the stuff made our top 10 that I personally didn't expect to happen. But yeah, I think all in all, 2024 was a good year for movies and TV shows. I mean, we got Wicked. So, I mean, what more you need? All right, back in the DCU, Culture Crave shared this information, so I'm just pulling this from Culture Crave, but obviously it was all over a few different places. But the Batman 2 has been delayed a year and now releases in theaters on October 1st, 2027. I love the Batman. I hate that it's going to be so long between the Batman movies. But I mean, I would rather it be good. I'd rather it be what, they want it to be, and not just rush something. Because it's like Shigeru Miyamoto always said, a rushed movie sucks potatoes, but a good movie, a delayed movie will be perfect always and forever. Something like that. James Gunn says the Batman 2 was delayed because the script isn't finished. Matt Reeves is committed to making the best film he possibly can, and no one can accurately guess exactly how long a script will take to write. James Gunn comments on the 5-year time gap between the Batman films, saying, "To be fair, a 5+ year gap is fairly common. There were 7 years between Alien and Aliens, 7 years between the first 2 Terminators, 13 years between Avatars, 36 years between Top Guns, and of course, 6 years between Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 and Volume 3. Though I will say that last one, I'm glad Disney made it right. It shouldn't have happened that way. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think Guardians 3 was supposed to be the first movie out of Endgame, if I'm not mistaken. Which obviously with the way everything worked out with the pandemic and stuff, I want to see that timeline where James Gunn never left the MCU to do the Suicide Squad. Like, I want to see what, because then who'd be around DCU if that hadn't happened? Would it still be James Gunn? Probably not. But we'll never know. Again, I'm glad that the Batman is taking his time, making something great. We had the Penguin, so I mean, that's holding us over. And there's other Batman things out. If you miss Batman, go watch some DC animated stuff. I was talking last night. A lot of people missed the Crisis on Infinite Earths 3-parter. Go check that out. Dean from Supernatural, Jensen Ackles, is Batman in it. One of the best Batmans. It's just so good. Come on, Sam! Cass! That's my Dean. Let me know what you think of my Dean in the comments. All right. Hey, speaking of DC stuff, Creature Commandos has officially been renewed for season 2 at Max. Of course, if you've not been keeping up with Creature Commandos, I think it's a good one. I really enjoy it. Out today on Blu-ray. So we got a few things here. We got Snake Eyes 4K, Internal Affairs, Adult Swim Yule Log. I have no idea what that is. Mr. Monk's Last Case, a Monk movie, hence Blu-ray. Man, they are just scraping the bottom of the barrel for these. Rumpelstiltskin 4K. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the last week of the year. Really, you really feel it. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of things coming out. There's like no new movies this week as far as Rumpelstiltskin hitting 4K, sorry. As far as like going to theaters, which is just crazy. So maybe I'll actually get to watch Nosferatu this weekend. Also out today, Wicked. If you're looking for a Wicked good time, you can buy Wicked on digital. You may notice that I have a play button on my screenshot of the Wicked movie. That's because I already bought it, dogs. All right? This movie's fantastic. Did it win our movie of the year? Yes. Crap, I probably shouldn't have given that away. Just pretend I didn't say any of that. That's it. There's literally nothing. There's nothing coming out on TV, nothing on streaming. There's nothing. Like, there's some stuff this weekend, which we'll talk about on Friday, but this week, man, it's bare bones. All because it's, what, a new year? Oh, so it's a new year, but it's the same old stuff that we get to watch? Thanks a lot, 2025. Sorry your party's so lame. That's it, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this movie morning news update. Let me know in the comments. We're back. Normal schedule this week. Hopefully, fingers crossed. We'll be streaming every night, so come hang out with us. Come see what other soundboards I have, because Jane and I also got this one.
Oh, yeah.
But that's going to wrap it up for me, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a happy new year. And as always, have a hopefully awesome day. Goodbye.